Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Um, Dear audience listener, this is Farooq Mirza, your host from Washington Global Forum, Fourth Pillar TV USA. Uh, I welcome Dr. Ghulam Mujtaba. Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Saab.
Welcome.
The program is designed for overseas Pakistani diaspora, and it is most viewed in North America. And we talk on very important issues related to Pakistan American relationship, and we also talks on different conflicts and different uh, diplomatic uh, concerns, and we will talk on a very important issues today. Our first segment would be UN session, and especially the Prime Minister of Pakistan and our foreign minister, they spoke to United Nations, and there was a lot of activity. The second segment would be we will uh, analyze and we will discuss what happened in flood disaster in Pakistan, how many lives lost, and the last segment would be a court issue. One of the political party had he apologized twice, and we will talk on that. Dr. Saab, let's start on the United Nations session. The world is witness what happened in Pakistan, and so many precious lives lost. The latest figures we received almost 1,386 dead bodies recovered from the deep water, and these are the uh, bodies they were there is the government they recovered and they buried, and how many still in deep water somewhere anywhere, children, women, and the parents, local community, we do not know. In the same way, the animal, our the meat resource, energy resource, and the milk resource, we lost almost 750,000 animal we lost, and the same amount of the animals they are at loose, and the people they have no mean to take care of them. In the same way, the roads and infrastructures almost over 500,000 miles. Uh, the roads, the main roads, the GT roads and the link roads lost in this flood disaster. And the most important thing, the bridges, almost 270 bridges they lost and they washed away. So that's why uh, the intensity of this damage that observed. And last, we will talk about the houses, homes, uh, people, the board. Almost over 500,000 houses they washed away, and the people they are on the roads. So this is one of the disaster that the world witnessed, and we saw that the most important thing, the Biden, uh, in during his speech, he urges uh, the world to stand by Pakistan, and they also talk on uh, re reschedule or forgive Pakistan's liability and loans. We talk about on our previous program, and when I interviewed United Nations Pakistan's permanent ambassador Munir Akram, uh, I repeatedly requested him to raise this issue, and he did it. So the world is also reviewing this request. So, Dr. Saab, uh, my question is to you: how important this session when Prime Minister of Pakistan he presented Pakistan's case, what the intensity of disaster, and the Biden he came up and he requested the rest of the world. So, how important is this for Pakistan?
Thank you very much, Mirza Saab. I appreciate the way you took the trouble of going into Pakistan, visiting the flood relief operations, and becoming part of those operations in Pakistan. Overseas Pakistanis and Pakistanis living in the United States are very much concerned for their brothers and sisters and their families and their friends in Pakistan. Let me make this very clear that we are with you, we are with the people of Pakistan, our friends and families, and we would continue to extend support to the Pakistani population in whatever means and ways we have available within our resources in the United States. The President of the United States has given a clear statement on the floor of the General Assembly of the United Nations that the United States stands by Pakistan in these difficult moments and difficult times of history. This is the first time in history, in the 75 years of Pakistan's history, that such catastrophe has taken place. And there are so many people who have been displaced and houses lost and bridges lost that you mentioned the figures. And those figures are very disturbing to all of us, including the world community and the Committee of Nations. Having said that, let us come to the exact point as to the significance of these operations vis-a-vis Pakistan on the floors of the United Nations. The debate has been opened up, was opened up by the President of the United States, and then it was followed up by the Prime Minister of Pakistan today in the United Nations, and there was an appeal to the Committee of Nations to extend support to Pakistan. Yes, it is time for Pakistan to ask for concessions in terms of those loans who which Pakistan has to pay off the repayments in 2023 with the losses that you have mentioned now and rightly mentioned. Pakistan has lost almost $50 billion of crops for this year. And these shortfalls will be a disaster for the people of Pakistan in the coming days. There would be famine, there would be shortage of food. And in that case, it is up to the world community to stand up and extend support to Pakistan. And at the very least, the repayments on the loans should be deferred. And I think it is time for Pakistan's Foreign Office, it is time for Pakistan's ambassadors all over the world to come up and convince the world leadership to go and support Pakistan. It is the duty of Pakistani diplomatic missions. Their role is very vital at this point and involve the Pakistani expatriates in those countries, including the United States, including England, including Germany, France, and all those countries, those active Pakistani expatriates who live in those societies and who have a definite role in those societies, in the democracies of the world, they should play their role and come up to the expectations of the people of Pakistan and Pakistan's nation. This is the time where Pakistan should be supported by all means, irrespective of partisan approach, irrespective of political affiliations. This is not a time where political affiliations should count first. This is not a time where political parties should call for elections. This is not a
Dr.
time
Saab,
where
Dr. Saab, another very important thing related to the United Nations session. While the Prime Minister of Pakistan, he was addressing some uh, political parties, lieutenants, uh, they gathered in front of the United Nations carrying posters and flyers, leaflets. The usually Pakistani American diaspora, they this is a tradition. They raise voice for the Kashmir and the human rights violations. While the Prime Minister of India, he speaks and they protest. And first time, uh, the diaspora, they protested against the Prime Minister of Pakistan while he was presenting uh, the uh, the disaster, the different the level of the disaster in Pakistan and asking for the help. And he also spoke about the Kashmir and different issues. A very important role he was playing. And Now there is an environment. Some Indian channels and some bloggers, they are talking in different way. They said Pakistan used to blame on us that we are a part of fifth generation war. Now this war is shifted to Pakistan's own community and political party. They are doing their work and they are saving a hell of money they used to spend to sabotage Pakistan's image. So, what we observed first time, the Indians physically, the PTI workers, they invited Indians in this protest, and they involved separatists from Balochis, from Afghanistan. Some uh, two women they came from Texas, Houston, and I will show you these images. So, do you think uh, the Pakistani diaspora should go to that far where uh, they can uh, create another conflict or confusion? So, do you think it is an anti-Pakistan activity, or is just a it's a nonsense or some silly workers they were used on this international front?
See, the point is that the focus of this session of the General Assembly in terms of Pakistan should have been on flood relief missions and support to Pakistan and Pakistan's displaced persons during these human catastrophe. And that focus was tried to be reverted to other issues or side issues by the political party, which is the PTI in this case, and a small number of people that tremendously failed to get support of the Pakistani expatriates in the United States to bring them on the streets of the United Nations to show a solidarity with Imran Khan on political front. This tremendously failed, and this has been seen by what you're showing now. People should know that the expatriates, Pakistani expatriates, reject such notions that damages Pakistan's national security interest. And Pakistanis, by not appearing before the protest, not showing up before the protest, is a clear rejection of the policies of the PTI at this point of time. That means this is should be capitalized by the government of Pakistan and the powers in Pakistan, that yes, the Pakistani people are united on one front in these defining moments of history. Pakistani people are not divided. There is no support for such people or such groups in Pakistan. Now, I tell you what they are trying to do is, we used to have debate in our days in student politics, and there was an annual debate conference in Karachi at Karachi University where I was the general secretary of the Students' Union. There was a lady from Sir Syed Girls College, and a lot of students thought that she will win the prize, the major prize in the debate. They went to the front seat and showed her tamarind, which is Emily in Urdu. So she will be just distracted in her speech, and the fluency in a speech will go away. And that is exactly by showing tamarind to her during the height of her speech. She lost the speech and she was distracted. This is what PTI is doing, is using a tamarind to uh, defocus the main problem of Pakistan, which the Prime Minister is trying to do, the Pakistan Army is trying to do, is bring support to Pakistan, bring oxygen to the masks, bringing oxygen to those who are facing problems, life-threatening issues in Pakistan. They are being disturbed, distracted, and Pakistan. They want to deliberately fail Pakistan's policies and economics of Pakistan.
But Dr.
Pakistan is
Saab, the what I want to hear from you, my I will go back to my the first part of my question. Uh, the political party hammering and protesting and apologizing what they did in Pakistan. Now this hatred now shifted to a diaspora that has been used. The first time we witnessed few hours before, the this political specific PTI party, they protested along with the Indian, uh, the Afghanis and other separatist Balochis. Uh, this because the Pakistani American diaspora suffered a lot after 9/11, and the people, so many people, they were deported and isolated, and now this kind of protest illegal. Even the title of the company was used was bogus. PTI New York does not exist, never registered, and the people, they were protesting, they were fired, and they were reported to the Department of Justice FARA. And still, these people, they are illegally operating and protesting for a foreign political party in U.S. land. So please, uh, uh, tell tell me, or answer in that way, so that your response would be a source of like learning for the diaspora community, that how dangerous is our community down the road when they will say they cross. Even the 2 3 FIRs were launched, they were very violent in Washington DC, Virginia, and in front of diplomatic mission in New York. So how dangerous is that, uh, creating bogus titles and bogus names, and creating a political conflict along with the Indian and the anti-Pakistan mindset.
See, the point is, this is playing by the national security of Pakistan, and Pakistani diaspora is not supportive of that. And so far, legal obligations are concerned, as American citizens or dual citizens of America, one has to understand that Pakistani political party has to be registered under the Foreign Agents Registration Act, which you rightly said, FARA, FARA, Foreign Agents Registration Act. PTI New York, has that been registered under FARA? I doubt it. If that is not the case, then the word PTI should not be used legally in the United States, because we uphold law in this country. And for Pakistanis, I suggest them that they should not break or come in contact with law in the United States. This is in consonance to Pakistan Constitution. This is in consonance to American Constitution, and this is in consonance to morality and the teachings in the biblical teachings, including Quranic Kareem. So one should not do something which is against the law of the land. And what they are doing is they are playing with fire by doing these things, and they are not getting the support from the people or the Pakistani diaspora here. Had there been a support, there would have been hundreds and thousands of Pakistanis and Pakistani Americans on the street of New York. Have we seen those hundreds and thousands of Pakistanis? No, we have not seen that. That means there is no support to them. There is a complete rejection for them. Now there are other countries who have genuine problems. For example, the major problem today was the war of Russia in Ukraine, and Russia was being a target. Did the Ukrainian people bring any demonstration in the interest of their state by doing such acts violating FARA? No, they did not. Now, Bangladesh, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Hasina Wajid, expressed her dismay over the Rohingya plight of their refugees. 1 million refugees have been brought, Burmese refugees in Bangladesh. She raised that question. Bangladeshis did not demonstrate against Burma like that. Even there is a room for them to bring it under the FARA Act and do it. Now, there are other countries like Palestinian people, they raise their voice, and the Israeli Prime Minister specifically and categorically expressed that yes, he supports the two-state solution. Now, there is an issue there. The issue is that what atrocities or anything that is being happening there, there is a voice, and the Pakistani Prime Minister has also raised a voice, and these things appeared in the news media in the United States. In today's newspapers, you can see what Pakistani Prime Minister has said about the Kashmir issue and what he has said about the Palestinian plight. But having said that, these issues, yes, it is the right forum to raise those international issues. Our 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 priority and our government's main concern is the coming economic debacle which is faced due to flood. We have lost so much of land, we have lost so much of bridges, we have lost so much of infrastructure, and we have completely lost food stuff for the next year in Pakistan. We need a
Dr. Saab,
desperate solution to all of that.
I'm in Islamabad. I came back from a tour. Especially, I made this trip along with
Yes,
fourth
please go
pillar
ahead and give
vigilant
your
the fourth
updates.
pillar, yeah, fourth pillar vigilant media watchdog team. They traveled with me, and our first stop was the DG Khan, and we basically, when we learned the intensity of this disaster, then the curiosity take me to the on the front flood line. So then we were in Rajanpur, and we were talking to journalists. They were on a front line. They were fighting and helping people. The road and infrastructure from Jampur to Rajanpur, you cannot believe how damages the roads is totally washed away. In Rajanpur, we visited couple of camps. They the camps erected by some different foundations and human rights organizations, and the condition was quite better. They provided electricity and uh, the food and the separate sanitation and the toilets for the men and women. But that was very appreciable. They were also providing energy resources, good food. But we entered into the Sindh uh, from Sakhar to Monroe. It's almost 140 to 50 miles. Dr. Saab, you cannot believe, on both sides, right and left side, there is a water pockets, and some pockets they are up to the road level, and the road, mostly road is gone, is washed away, and you can see the animals, very expensive animals. They are source of meat and they are source of the milk and energy. They are homeless. They and they are so dumb, and some we saw the die on the road. When we entered into the Dadu, I cannot believe the how human life is insulted and neglected by the local counties and the Sindh government. And they had no food, especially the children. They had no shoes, no protective clothes, and their jaundiced face. The women, they are sick, and the old people, they have no even shelter. The You cannot believe, my heart was bleeding at that time, and we tried to donate some money what we have, but we couldn't make it. uh, my question is to you right now. uh, the international aid is coming to Pakistan. A lot of world, the friendly nations, they are sending aids and different foods and cash to Pakistan, but the process of distribution and this aid should go to these people, they are suffering. So what do you think, what do you suggest at that stage? Because our governments are very notorious to governmentize all these international aids, and this time the aid should go to the flood victims.
Your concern on the distribution of aid to Pakistan and the needy in Pakistan and those who are the deserving people in Pakistan, yes, we have reports that there is a complete mismanagement in the entire system. We are concerned and we are disturbed by these mismanagements, and hopefully, we expect from the Pakistani government and the Pakistani Prime Minister to take an action, remedial action, in order to make it transparent and accountable to those who are mismanaging even things like camps, tents, which is being sold at places in Sindh, and we have reports on that, and media is reporting those things. we understand that these are matters of concern for the donors as well. And these will stop the donors from sending money to Pakistan that is going to damage Pakistan. Such things should be avoided and such things should be restricted. Yes, it is disturbing.
Dr. Saab, let's come back to uh, Pakistan, our home based. The latest uh, news is a hot cake, and the people they are discussing a very important issue. The Imran Khan, we will talk about Imran Khan, who was considered a jinn. A jinn came out from the bottle, and there was no solution to put him back. And he marketed his three stance and statements. One is against the Pakistan judiciary, and second, Pakistan's army and its departments, and third was uh, anti-American. His statements, they were very damaging. The first, his campaign is going to die, and he apologized when he saw himself in the dead end, and he has no choice. So he came up before the proceedings start, because the court was imposed uh, a penalty on him and the judgment on him. And he came up and he said he apologized. That apology, he did the same previously. That was the second time he was apologizing. So the court uh, uh, delayed their decision to impose uh, uh, on these the punishment. So they extended up to 1 week and asked him to submit a written signed um, word this affidavit. So so one of his campaign will die, and we don't know for how long. But there are two other campaigns, they are still there. So I think the apologies session now has started, and we don't know how many times he will apologize to the nation and the courts and the system. So, Dr. Saab, uh, I want to uh, ask you for your mind about this apology. If court accept accept his apology and let him go, then there would be a two kind of justice in decision making, and the people they are already very confused about uh, the lenient attitude of the Atal Manila Chief Justice High Court. So some people they bluntly they ask him, he is a PTI judge. So if he accepts his this apology, then how he will face, or the High Court will face, the extreme protest from the uh, other political party. Their main leadership was uh, penalized, and uh, they were given a very harsh punishment on the same case. So how you define this decision?
Mr. Farooq Mirza, the point that you have raised is very important and very concerning, not only to the Pakistani diaspora about the reputation of Pakistan in the United States and elsewhere. It is also disturbing for Pakistan's government and Pakistan's system of governance, because judiciary is being placed at the lowest standards by the judicial task force globally. The judiciary is being rated, Pakistan's judiciary is one of the lowest in performance in the entire world. This is a matter very which is appalling and shameful for Pakistan, and for people educated outside and who are the cream of the societies like myself, yourself, and all the Pakistanis living in this country are the top 5% of the American population. And this is not something that we should expect from the people of Pakistan behaving like that in terms of judiciary. Justice denied, justice delayed is justice denied. And in this case, we have seen that repeatedly the same thing has been adopted by Pakistan's judiciary. And I'm talking about the system that has to be overhauled in Pakistan. Something is wrong somewhere. A man who is prosecuted in the US is declared as Sadiq and Amin in Pakistan. What type of a system is that? Now, in this case, we see the similarities in the case of Nihal Hashmi versus Imran Khan. The similarities is that Nihal Hashmi threatened the judiciary, threatened those people sitting in the judicial benches that anything that goes against the father and son, which is Nawaz Sharif and his sons, or any grilling going on there would be taken to task. The same thing it was Imran Khan on Shehbaz Gill's case. He threatened the district, the Islamabad judge Zeba Chaudhry, and that was something which was spoken before a public meeting. It was not something indoors. In case of Nihal Hashmi, he was speaking indoors within the people and his party workers. But in case of Imran Khan, it was a public meeting and a large gathering. That was a bigger threat to the judge Zeba Chaudhry. And I don't know if someone threatens Athar Minallah, would he do the same thing? Would he respond the same way he responded? Or if someone does that and uses any slur against his father, his own father, would he tolerate that? No, he's not going to tolerate that. And let me tell you that the two-tier system of the justice in Pakistan that you mentioned rightly now, yes, we see two-tier system. It is not only us. The Judicial Council globally, the Judicial Task Force globally has declared that Pakistan has a two-tier system. Pakistan's judicial system is not effective, is not bringing justice to the people of Pakistan. And those who are in power or those with partisan approach are getting support by the judiciary. Judiciary has to come up to the expectations of the people and expectations in maintaining neutrality and unbiased approach, non-partisan approach. And Justice Minallah is on the target, and I believe the judgment has not come as yet. We understand that. There is no judgment made on the case. We understand that. We understand that there is a room that he may be punished. We understand all those things. Having said that, we still believe that the process of law that has been adopted in case of Imran Khan during these days were very different from the process of law that was adopted by the Supreme Court in 2018 against Nihal Hashmi. Why was that? Why is there a two-tier system in Pakistan? It brings two things into question. Question one is, are the judges in Pakistan having political ambitions and political goals and are partisan in politics and are trying to influence politics in Pakistan through the offices they are upholding? Now, the second question is, does this also portray that there is a racial profiling in Pakistan? Imran Khan is above those racial profiling. In the case of Nihal Hashmi, he belonged to a middle class family of Karachi. Has he been discriminated?
Dr.
People of
Saab,
Karachi are,
Dr.
people of
Dr.
Karachi
Saab,
are
Dr. Saab,
justified in questioning these days. And I have seen social media reports. We do not support ethnicity. We do not support such a racial divide. We do not support the divide in Pakistan. We believe in the national integrity of Pakistan. But having said that, we see that these are the things which are creating chaos in Pakistan, disturbing in Pakistan. They want to divide Pakistan. Justice Minallah should know that he should not divide the people of Pakistan based on racial profiling
Dr.
or
Saab,
political partisan approach. He should be given, if whatever the results are, he should be brought to judicial review on the process that he maintained things. I'm not saying he's not giving punishment to Imran Khan or not giving punishment to Imran Khan. I'm saying the process of law has not been adopted vis-a-vis Nihal Hashmi, and this should be reprimanded before the Judicial Council of Pakistan.
Dr. Saab, the matter is still not decided. We are talking about lenient.
No, I'm talking about the process in which he has involved.
Yes.
This process is
What
unwarranted.
there is an environment that this is the most difficult case for Islamabad High Court and for the Athar Minallah himself, because his credibility is at stake.
He should resign from the bench and he should law the people to take off.
Due to his previous decision, he was not able to make his way to the Supreme Court, and because his credibility is stake, I myself believe that on the next date there would be there would be a process of judgment they will start. And as he confessed that he committed a crime, and he threatened judiciary, one of the judge, and previously he was a habitual. So uh, the uh, the lenient attitude, uh, uh, it is observed, and the people they are talking. But I myself believe that Imran Khan would be convicted, and uh, the punishment will go to not for like a 5 years, maybe 2 years, maybe year and a half, maybe 6 months. He will be he will be taken care of that. If not, then there would be a great issue. The judiciary, the entire justice system's credibility would be at stake.
I would like to know what is the difference in the citizenship of Nihal Hashmi versus Imran Khan. Why would he get 6 months and why Nihal Hashmi got 5 years? I would like to know from Justice Minallah in his judgment to justify reasons in providing leniency to him. What was the
Because
difference
the
in the
PTI
case?
leadership, they claim that as their leader is very popular and very famous and worldly renowned, that's why he should be
Does
given a relief
popularity
from the court.
influence judicial system in Pakistan? This is what the debate is. Judicial system is influenced by the popularity and partisan politics in Pakistan, and that is why Pakistan's judicial system is obsolete under these circumstances.
Dr. Saab, we are talking about the lower court, a high court, Islamabad. What's about the Supreme Court? There are so many visible conflicts within the judges, and they attack on each other. Recently, one of the judge, he wrote a letter while Supreme Court Chief Justice was addressing to the one of the forum, and that kind of written uh, this the conflict within the judges. How dangerous is that for the general public? So we observed that the general public, they don't trust judiciary on a lower level or on the high level. So do you think this entire justice system is right now uh, need to taken care of that, or need to be reformed at that stage? I think it's a very dangerous when the general public, they start talking on credibility of the judges and the courts.
In one sentence, Farooq Mirza Saab, justice, when not provided to the people, such a system, even run by the faithfuls, and a system where justice is provided is run by the unfaithful or the seculars, that system will prevail, and the system who are the claimants of Riyasat Medina and do not provide justice cannot sustain. That is the sayings of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If you do not provide justice, if you maintain two-tier system, if you maintain partisan approach in politics and politics in the judiciary, then certainly Pakistan's judiciary is damaging the national security interest of Pakistan. And we want to protect the national security interest of Pakistan no matter what. And whatever we are saying, this is in consonance to the national security interest of Pakistan, not targeted against the judiciary.
Dr. Saab, the world is watching Pakistan's justice system. Now there is an environment. I already know what the decision would be. I think this is a most dangerous thing when the judges during their proceeding, they make certain statements, and and it looks like the judiciary is politically motivated, and certain political party wait for their favorite judges to file their petition. Even the some judges, they are on leave, and they wait for them to come back so that they can file petition and get relief. So the on international level, if the world is watching, and they think that this justice system is just a broken, so it depends on the credibility of the country as well. So I believe uh, even the judiciary is listening to us, and we are uh, doing this program from the Washington D.C. from the other land, and we have to face all these attacks when our co-workers, our colleagues, and some uh, lawmakers and some people related to judiciary on international level. So it is very hard to face them when they ask question about our judiciary. So Dr. Saab, thank you very much for your time, folks. Times it up. Uh, we talk about very important United Nations session, and the Prime Minister of Pakistan, he was presenting Pakistan's case, and the Foreign Minister, he also played a very important role. And one of the advancement we observed, John Kerry, environment representative of the Biden administration, and the Donald Lu, he was also in the environment, one of the environment committee, global warming, on the environment, and on the global initiative. Pakistan would be a very important part, and the Prime Minister of Pakistan, they met with them. So the other political party, they are making conflicting, uh, damaging remarks that they the meeting of the Prime Minister and the presence of the Donald Lu, it proves that there was a well-netted conspiracy. I think it's a silly and nonsense approach, because he's Assistant Secretary of State, and he is responsible uh, the matters or issues related to Pakistan. That was a routine, a very important meeting. And the most important, the President Biden, he uh, requested the rest of the world to help Pakistan financially now on the United Nations, where the world is present. Now they are reviewing Pakistan's loans and liability. Maybe they will extend on easy terms. Maybe some loans they will forgive based on the human crisis in Pakistan. That was the worst disaster ever seen in the history. So uh, now the aid is coming to Pakistan. It should go to the victims, not to the providers. So this is the time the Pakistan government, they can re-establish their credibility and distribute aid to the victims. And they should also form a committee that they will look into the distribution mechanism. So we also talk about some nonsense, and some political parties worker, they were dancing, and they were cursing, shouting. And the first time we observed, uh, they pro- they invited some Indians and anti-Pakistan separatists in their protest, and they also uh, money, some cash money was floating in United States of America. Very, very dangerous. And definitely the local departments, they are looking into their matters. And when they will find out who is the sponsor and from where, what is the source of their this, they are all these heavy expenditure, transportation. Definitely they will find, when they will arrest them or they will take care of them, the rest of the community will also suffer. I think the political parties and their leaders, they should also teach and train their workers not to make that kind of silly mistakes, uh, just to uh, uh, just to malign Pakistan, or damage Pakistan's image. The lastly, Imran Khan, his apology, uh, that was a great surprise, because he did it. He had no choice. So this apology does not seem to be from the heart, because second time he violated uh, his own promise, the written statement. Second time he will submit. So we strongly believe he will be convicted and penalized, not for a long time. Maybe due to his apology, he will be given sentence maybe for 2 years or 3 years, but definitely he will get punishment. So one of the his campaign, uh, will will definitely die, and the rest of two campaign, one against the Pakistan Army and against the America. It will stay, and I believe that he will apologize too. So right now, Pakistan is facing extreme financial crisis and extreme human crisis, and this is very very good thing that the world is standing right now with the existing government, and we will talk on our next program about the appointment or extension of the new army chief. The I believe within a couple of days we will come to know that who will be the next, and we will talk on that. So, folks, uh, we will beg your leave. We will come back with a new topic. Dr. Saab, thank you very much for your time. Uh, I also thankful to all our viewers are listening. Uh, Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad.